Good people, y'all know what it is. It is a Wednesday night, one Wednesday closer to the regular season for the Philadelphia Eagles, who, of course, we know as the best team in the NFL. If you don't like us, if you don't like that statement, you find somebody else to argue with. This is Eagles Elite, where we Eagles fans and the Eagles are elite. You feel me? So tonight, news, updates from the first game, thoughts on what's been happening in camp so far. Of course, finally, we are exercising the last demons from last season. And then we had a thought that was given to us by um, one of our consistent fans. One of the fam. We'll go over that too. If you look at the description, you already know what it is. But bringing on to get things popping with me right now, my man Wyatt. Wyatt, what up?
What's going on, everybody? Another day closer to the season. I can't wait. We're still in the midst of training camp and preseason out right now, but we're so close.
So close you can almost smell it, man. You know what I'm saying? It just gives you happiness and excitement.
Absolutely.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna get into things here. So Wyatt, I already know when it comes to the news, I don't expect you to carry everything, but I know you got some updates for us. And since we're getting close to the season, I'm gonna get back into the swing of things. Eagles updates. What we got, bro?
All right, man. Well, I mean, if the official news that we have out of the Philadelphia Eagles, as we sign another safety, Caden Stearns to the roster, and we released linebacker Shaq Quarterman. That's the official news. Other official updates. Cooper DeJean is off the injury list. He is actually back practicing. I know he was limited at the last practice, but I'm sure they're going to be ramping him up here over the coming weeks. But he was out there during joint practices and everything we had with the Patriots leading up to the preseason game. But those are the official updates as of right now. Not too much going on in the Eagles news as of right now, other than just picking up guys, dropping guys, some guys getting injured. But I mean, CJ looks like he's going to be back here shortly as well. He looked like he was in good spirits when they were getting ready to go to New England and everything. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can stay healthy throughout the preseason here, gearing up for week 1.
I dig it. And joining us in the building as well, the diva herself. What up, diva?
What's going on, y'all?
Chilling, chilling. I'm putting you at the top. I'm gonna go to the bottom.
Somebody else.
You know what I'm saying? So, I'm talking about a couple of things from our preseason game. Of course, Jake Elliott, walk off field goal to win the game. No surprise there, right? It's Jake Elliott. That man has liquid ice running through his veins. Some of the field goals he's made since he's been, part of the Philadelphia Eagles. So love that. Always a great thing. We didn't get a lot of the starters, but we got some good play. One Quinion Mitchell made some good plays. He had a nice break on the ball that didn't result in an interception. Should have, but he played it perfectly. He just didn't bring in the interception. But I mean, I always say this. It's not new. You know me. If you can make plays, you'd be a wide receiver. You would be a defensive back. So he's looking pretty good. Excited that DeJean's back out. Want him to get reps. Want him to be ready. Kenny Pickett, made some decent plays within the framework of the game. Our 2s and 3s will be strong against other 2s and 3s, right? That's relative. You don't know the level of our backups versus other backups as a whole, but for the game, kind of low scoring. Baltimore got the first field goal. Not a big scoring game by any means, but hey, it's the first preseason game. Most teams at most play their starters for a series. So battle of the 2s, 3s, and 4s. We won the battle of the 2s, 3s, and 4s. There's people that are now calling us, the best team ever. There's people say we're garbage. It doesn't really matter. We know if you're not an Eagles fan, we know you don't like us and we don't care anyway. But if you are an Eagles fan, just slow your roll. Look at players, right? Like I don't look at wins and losses. Look at players. Backup quarterback. We know we got battles for who's going to be the number twos and whatnot for like the wide receiver group. I think there's a battle at running back. I think I might be the only one that really hopes that. Well, not that hopes that, but thinks that that's actually going to happen. Also, of course, tight end. Someone could always slip up and down on the depth chart. A lot of things on defense, right? So we'll see how things go. Diva, anything from any news that you've heard of training camp, the first preseason game, any news or rumors that you would like to share with the good people?
I mean, of course, it's just rumors, but they're talking about we could pick up another wide receiver, and possibly somebody else on the defense. So we'll see about that. But I mean, the first preseason game was the first preseason game. It was just, kind of get those jitters out and kind of seeing that Kenny Pickett is not going to be the second backup for sure. Because my man looked worse than Gardner Minshew.
Say that again. Just I want you to say it for the people one more time.
He looked worse than Gardner Minshew. Like he was not reading the field at all, and then like he would run and then fall short of the first. Like, dude, what are you doing? And then he would only scan one side of the field, and it was just horrible.
Fair enough. Now I've also seen some reports in regards to Devin White. And the reports are that he might end up being our biggest off-season steal. That he's performing well, in games, stepping up as a leader for that linebacking group, bringing some veteran presence. He's already, a decorated player at the position, so it's just more news that he's doing it with Philadelphia, not news that he's doing it, period. Because that's why he was brought in, right? He's a guy that I think, when we talk about, we got some cap space left or what we're going to do, a move that we might want to make is let's see how he plays for a couple of games in the regular season so we don't jump the gun. But I'm not going to think about doing something with Devin White. Like putting some more years on that contract and keeping him here because we need linebackers. You know what I'm saying?
We need a veteran.
And Devin White is that. So, hey, we'll see how things continue to play out, but he's getting a lot of praise even from Howie on down on his play, picking up the offense. Of course, Vic liked him from when they were doing practices with no pads, so that's not new that Vic's saying those things. But the other people, fellow players, other coaches, teammates, a lot of praise for Devin White. So good job, Howie, on the pickup. I mean, I've never had an issue, and we said it over time. I've never had an issue with Howie on pickups. That's never been the issue. My issue with Howie is some of the things in the draft, but we seem to have corrected some of those. So I'm not going to continue to beat a dead horse. That's a lie, I am. But on that one, I'm going to try not to. So we got a couple of comments here. Philly says, "Go Birds." What up, Philly? Go Birds. You already know. Benny Boom. Benny says, "Benny Boom is Citizen Bank Park for the Phillies game, but I'm turning in on the show." That's what I'm talking about, Benny.
Right.
We appreciate that.
I don't matter. I'm still watching Eagles Week. Much love. Benny says Axeman 2.0 is coming. I feel that too.
Yes, sir.
I feel that too. There's so many, man. I'm excited, man. I'm looking at the guys that we expect to step up, the young guys, and they look like they're taking on those roles and they're challenging themselves and saying, you know what? I understand that a bigger role for me is needed this year. I understand that for this team to be what it needs to be, I need to do more. And it feels like they jumping on that and saying, let's get it. And that's what we want.
Yes, sir.
Guys, any other thoughts before we take our first break, come back, and get into something tough. Something a little tough. Any other news or thoughts y'all want to throw out there before we move on?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the preseason goes, I feel like a lot of the young guys, especially the draft picks that we had, ended up doing really well. The defense got to see a lot of the starters there. Obviously, some of the veterans weren't out there for obvious reasons. But like Benny Boom said, Trotter Jr., it's looking like he's coming along nicely. I mean, he looked decent in the preseason. Seems like he's exceeding expectations during practice and everything. Anais Smith, man, what is going on with Anais Smith? His stock is dropping by the week or by the day at this point. Dude looked like he was running in sand in this game. Johnny Wilson was okay in that game. He's been getting a lot of praise during practice and all that. Apparently, Britton Covey is getting a ton of praise from a lot of players on this squad as well. They're saying he could be in the running for that wide receiver 3 spot.
Yeah.
But I totally agree with Diva. Like, Pickett is not the dude. Hopefully, with everything going on in Minnesota, with JJ being out for the season, maybe we'll get another QB. We'll hand it like old Sam Bradford, hand him back to the Vikings. Old Sammy Sleeves. So hopefully, I mean, we've been talking about he might be like trade bait the whole time. Well, it might happen, sooner rather than later. But I mean, I'm impressed by what we've seen from at least some of the young guys on defense here. I know it's just preseason, but it's a good start. And especially with Cooper DeJean being in the mix, they said that he could possibly play in the 3rd preseason game. So it'd be nice to get him some action out there other than practice before the season starts.
Definitely, man. Definitely. All right. So good people. We'll go ahead and drop our first commercial break, come back, and we're going to make some things happen. Discussing a tough, sore topic for us, but hey, we at the end. We've done our due diligence as the podcast to give you guys what you needed. And we probably need to exercise a few demons along the way for this too, because it's tough. All right, let's get it.
Cool McCain.
You thought you wanted Gunther against Chad Gable, but you didn't. And I'm going to tell you why. Chad Gable would take everything that Gunther's done and bury it.
The Playmaker.
It was on site. AJ Styles walked out there, seen LA Knight. Oh, okay, then LA Knight hopped out the car. Let's go.
Break down everything in TNA, AEW, and all of the WWE programming. Join these two kings, monarchs of wrestling, live every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central on the Play Caller Sports Talk YouTube channel. Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text delete, 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 delete.
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids from the Block, New Edition, dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court. Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
All right, so we back in the building. Got another comment here. Benny Boom says Trotter Jr. is a gem. This dude has been groomed since he was a kid. Can you imagine having Trotter Sr. as your dad / position coach? That's very true, and that's something that you can't overlook, man. And we talk about it with some people all the time, but this is very true. But from that semi-positive note, unfortunately, thanks to me and my ideas for things to talk about in the offseason.
Right.
But we did it last year, right? We did it when we were winning, so you can't turn around, Did it when we were winning, and it was good. People sent me messages, say, hey, I like that y'all went back over the games, kind of got people prepped that May not have been thinking about the games, you know, and everything. I felt like we're gonna do it when things are well. We also gotta do it when things are bad. And we know things are bad. So let's get into it. All right, Diva, we're gonna start with you. We know the game, January 7th, 2024. Philadelphia Eagles 10, New York Football Midgets 27.
I'm not even bringing up no stats. That's pointless to bring up stats for that game. Nobody was there mentally at all. People just gave up on the season. There was just bodies out there. AJ Brown was not out there because he was like, forget that, I'm not about to get hurt. We ain't about to play. It was no effort at all. For us to lose to the midgets the way that we lost that game was absolutely no effort. Like, everybody was just fed up with Sirianni and Brian Johnson
And Maddie P.
yeah, and Maddie P, and they were just like, you know what, we just out here, y'all. We ain't about to tackle, we ain't about to catch no balls, we ain't about to make no play. We just gonna be out here looking crazy. Like it didn't even like flag football. Like, I've seen children play better than we played in that game. Like, that was absolutely horrible. That's all I can say. It was horrible, and I was glad that was the last game. That was it. Season over.
Wyatt, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, this was embarrassing. It was just this is officially rock bottom at this point. Like, you losing to the Giants like this. I know you didn't play your starters the whole game, but still to come out with your starters and look as bad as you did, especially when you beat them. I mean, somewhat handedly. You could have beat them handily a couple weeks previously, but to turn around and have an abysmal outing like this on offense and defense with all the talent you have, it just shows how terrible not only the locker room, but just the coaching in general was at that point in time. There doesn't seem like there was anything being done to fix anything, even leading up to a playoff game at that point in time. Like, it seemed like they wanted to play the starters to get them ready, but they didn't have anything to, like, they didn't game plan whatsoever to get them ready, either for this game or the next game. It was just embarrassing all around. The only thing you can really kind of look at it and say, oh, that was nice, was that Kenny Gainwell actually did something in this game, at least against the Giants, because DeAndre Swift was out and you're playing a banged up, terrible defensive line for the Giants. But yeah, there's really nothing you can say that's positive about this game or really the next game.
The thing is, in the first half, we were playing the starters for the most part, right? If I remember correctly. I did go back and watch it, but I got confused because we played so bad in both of the Giants games. But I remember correctly, we had the starters released like the first half. We gave up 21 points in the second quarter. Tyrod Taylor looked like freaking Pat Mahomes. Old Patty Mayo himself against us in this game. How you let the backup throw for almost 300 yards on you? Come on, man. Like, pride, bro. Like, I get it. We ain't had no heart. Like, but pride. Like, as a man, as a football player, as a coach, you should, be trying to coach guys and like, look, we got to at least be respectable. We ain't really got to win the game, but we got to look respectable. Right? Because winning the game wouldn't have done anything for us. So, we didn't necessarily have to win, but if you're going to play your starters, I'm of the opinion, make it matter somewhat. We got 7 carries for 62 out of Gainwell. This is the game that Quez Watkins thought he was a starting NFL receiver in. During a touchdown. I have never seen a man celebrate like that catching on backups. And then he did it in the fourth quarter, bro. When the Giants backups were playing. You feel me? We talked about this when it happened, right? And we talked about, in chat too, like, yo, at this point, we could have just been like, you know what? Let me play the starters next week. It's a wrap. It's done. We ain't going nowhere. We not winning no playoff games. And then, you got the Eagles players talking, playoffs coming and blase this and blase that. I'm sitting there like, it don't matter. Y'all still got the same coaches. Y'all still got the same problems in the locker room. We're gonna see more of this next week, unfortunately. You know, I'm a person when things are going well. I'm gonna puff out my chest. I'm gonna toot my horn. You know, I'm gonna praise the team. But when they're not, I'm gonna also say what I gotta say now. Diva was right. Wyatt was right. Anybody who had anything negative to say about this game, about the Eagles, was right. You know, all the Eagles haters in the media, you are right. This game was terrible. I don't know why whatever was supposed to be a game plan we used, but you know what? Let's never do that again. Let's look at the tape from every time they get ready to make a game plan. Just look at this tape and be like, don't do any of that. Everything in that game, don't ever do that again.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about the game. I mean, just to me, it was like 27-3 because Quez Watkins' little touchdown against the threes. Had him celebrating like he won the Super Bowl or made a big catch when he dropped catches in major games. It was a microcosm of the season. Yeah, dudes walking around here like they big dog when you ain't done nothing to help the team be successful all year.
Mm-hmm.
Pumping your chest out. Well, we still gonna lose the game. Glad he's gone, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
I think he could be a solid 3 or 4 somewhere, but it wasn't gonna be in Philly because he didn't have that dog inside to make it in Philly. You gotta have that dog inside. He don't have that. He's not built that way.
No.
We don't need to bring up a lot of stats. Anything else y'all guys want to say on this embarrassment of a ending to our regular season?
Glad Mariota's off the squad.
That too.
I told y'all in the preseason last year that
You were
man
right.
can't throw.
You were
I
right.
don't like to be right sometimes, but
Man, we knew that man couldn't throw in Tennessee. I'm glad that Chip Kelly did because that was Chip Kelly man he wanted in Philly. We ended up getting him anyway, but
One of them bad.
and the bad thing is 4 or 5 years later he still couldn't throw.
it's still garbage.
Still.
Sad.
Old man Mob in the building.
Oh, man.
Nah, what it do?
He says, "How we doing today?" You already know, had to hit that like button and share. Appreciate that, old man.
Appreciate that.
Much love, big dog. Much love. Then he says, had to show some love to the brother Cool and the man, the legend Wyatt, and of course the great Eagle Diva. And he said that even when you ain't here, Diva, when you ain't here, he'd be like the great Eagles Diva. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that.
So yeah, that pretty much is that. Any last thoughts y'all want to have on the rest of the season? Are we good to bury the regular season, suffer a little bit more heartache, and be done?
Yeah,
Barry,
there it
as long
is.
as we ain't got Nick Sirianni calling plays, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that. Cannot argue with that. All right, so good people. Shout out to 502 Angel Radio. Several other places that you can now see this show, but remember your main place is you going to YouTube, type it in at Eagles Elite Podcast, and when you type that in, making sure that you also, and I didn't even do this myself to remind everybody, but making sure that you also hit that like, that share, and that subscribe button, so that way you can see your peoples. And guess what? Boom. Like magic. Let's get it. All right, y'all. Commercial break. We'll be back. Definitely got a couple more things to discuss. Let's get it.
Whether it's the men's college game,
The way that this season has been going, yeah, anything is possible.
the women's college game,
And how passionate Ancient Reef was at that press conference, they got their mojo now.
the WNBA,
AJ Wilson-Brown stood 1-2, followed by Brittany Griner, Aaliyah Boston, Jackie Young.
or the NBA.
The Lakers had a 0.8 chance of winning. And then what happened in the fourth quarter? LeBron James by himself outdid the Clippers.
You will get any and all of the information right at your fingertips or your earlobes. Join the Playmaker as he breaks down all things basketball in Shooting Lights Out on the Playmaker's blog, network, YouTube channel, and where you can find podcasts.
Get in the game at BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook. Over 50 sports, live betting, online casino, horse racing, esports, and more. Start now and enjoy easy deposits, fastest payouts, and the biggest bonuses. And for over 25 years, BetUS is a name you can trust. Mention TV 150 now and get up to 150% in bonuses. BetUS, we've got your game. Call or visit betus.com now to join.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can be the black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively. Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network proudly presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday morning beginning April 29th at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
All right, y'all. So we just wrapped up the Olympics. We don't really have anything we could talk about this Olympics in regards to football or the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Because there was nothing there. But in 2028, we're going to have flag football as an official Olympic sport. Now, I don't know yet for sure, right? Because we got a lot of time between now and then. If they're going to allow pro players, how they're going to do it. They're going to do it like regular flag football. If they're going to have a specific set of rules because this is going to be flag football in other countries. I don't know. But what I do know is that one of the official spokespeople, one of the faces of flag football is going to be one Jalen Alexander Hurts. Commercial with him throwing the ball, lighting the jump for flag football. I like that. I like these getting that exposure, people seeing it. So we'll start there. Diva, Wyatt, whichever one of y'all want to go first. Any thoughts on Jalen Hurts kind of being one of the faces of this flag football thing that's going to be coming to the Olympics in 2028? Hopefully, since it's flag football and football started in America, that we can actually win a gold medal.
You're stupid. No, I mean, big ups to Jalen Hurts for winning that. It's crazy how you can win that, but you can't be a top QB in the top 100. That's wild to me. But whatever. But I mean, big ups. That go to show you that somebody do recognize who he is and what he do for the team. So big up to Jalen.
I like the
Yeah.
I like the veiled shot that you put in there. I love it.
You know me. I always gotta do a shot somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I like the move. You know, it's nice to see. I mean, we've seen Jalen on commercials and stuff for Hulu and whatnot, but it's actually cool to see him as a face of the NFL at this point. You know, not just for the NFL, but also for the Olympics. You know, get the name out there, kind of draw attention to the organization as well. You know, we've all been behind Jalen ever since he came to the Philadelphia, but it's nice to actually see him gain, national attention, not even worldwide attention at this point, I guess now.
Right. I agree. So the other part of the question, and the part that's more interesting, and we'll start with the team, but if there's anybody outside the team that you want to also add, you can. So, some rumors. One, Mr. Sam, Jess, one of our main supporters for the show, said that Patrick Mahomes, old Patty Mayo himself, as well as Tyreek Hill, have already expressed interest in being on this Olympic team. So the question for the Philadelphia Eagles, are there any current players? Because we don't know what the roster looks like. Nobody could be here, right? We don't know. But assuming the current players on the roster, is there anybody that you look at and say, I think that person should represent the Philadelphia Eagles and the United States in flag football?
Jalen Carter.
It's a good pick. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think Jalen gonna be in there since he's the face of flag football. If I had to put somebody like currently now, I mean, I would assume it would be more like kind of like the higher profile players. So maybe like AJ or Devontae, Saquon, those types of players. Or maybe if you need like I don't know how flag football is going to be in the Olympics as far as like offensive linemen and stuff goes, but maybe like Mailata at that point. Those types of guys, like more high profile players. That's what I would assume. I assume Tyreek was going to be in there though. It's like he's always out here talking trash about how he can pretty much beat everybody, how he's like the fastest dude in the world. So that doesn't surprise me. His name's out there to be in the list.
I'm gonna go Quinyon Mitchell. That gives him time to develop. And this dude is talking trash to Smitty and AJ, telling them their route run is trash in practice right now. He got AJ like, yo, put him over here. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not a talker, but in those games, in the plays when they're playing against each other and everything, he gets the barking. So a dude like that, I think, giving me projecting, because of course you got to do some projecting, right? I feel like he's a guy that's going to be able to play whatever the defense that they're going to allow him to play in the Olympics. Because, like you said, we don't know, they may not even have line in the Olympics. I don't know what they're going to do. Yeah. But all we really know at this point, you got to assume they're going to have every position, right? Or at least a couple of linemen. Maybe like when you play flag football and you have a couple of linemen or whatever. But whatever they're going to do, they're going to have some guys playing. Maybe you have to play both sides of the ball. Maybe just play defense. I don't know. But I think Quinyon Mitchell will be a good guy to have on a team from the current roster. I'm going to also go with Isaiah Rodgers. Because I think I'm looking at defense because y'all took the offense, right? Y'all took the offense. Ain't no point in just playing people over. But those are a couple of names I think.
Well, Wyatt did.
That was my fault. I always do that.
Man. It's all good.
I mean, what is that big play slave? He talking about retiring, so I don't think
he won't be here 4 years. That's why I need. I mean, I know he's currently on the team, but I'm just looking like to people who I feel like I gotta be here, or at least in the league in 4 years. And I definitely don't think Slade's gonna be there. We know BG ain't gonna be there. Shoot, Landon Dickerson might not. I mean, not Landon Dickerson, but
Saquon might not be here in 4 years.
Saquon might not be in the league in 4 years because running backs. Lane Johnson might not be here in 4 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at who I project to maybe not be here. I'm trying to lead them off of who I'm saying. But yeah, those are two guys I think on the defensive end. Of course, if he's still here, a guy like CJ GJ, hopefully can't get hurt in flag football.
Be out there yapping at people, making them mad.
I can see Blankenship on there if he's still with us.
Blankenship's a hitter. I don't know if you want to put a hitter over there.
He gonna accidentally just
somebody out.
He'd be laying somebody out. They'd be like, "Yeah, the U.S. is out. The team's out. Just go home." Look, we know we in the U.S., but just go home. Leave the Olympic Village and go home. So yeah, but yeah, it's going to definitely depend on how a lot of these guys develop because a lot of guys that I'm talking about are guys that not like the big names, but guys that should be in or leading into their prime, by 2028. So anybody outside of the Eagles?
I'm trying to think of who may be like towards the top of their game in like 4 years.
Well, I know one guy that we love the stats for. It doesn't matter if he wins or loses. That would be perfect. That's Justin Herbert.
Media loves them some Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I mean, we just want somebody that's going to throw the ball and make a bunch of, hopefully, theoretically, make a bunch of plays with the ball, like a Justin Herbert. I mean, if you're going to do Hurts and you're going to do Mahomes, you're probably going to have one more quarterback. So maybe a Justin Herbert, maybe if he can stay healthy. I'm trying to think of who he looks like now because it was Anakin Skywalker. Oh, Cody Rhodes, aka
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Exactly what you're talking about. Old Slim
Jody
Shady
Rhodes.
over there.
I can see Lamar Jackson in there.
Lamar might be a good dude to look at too. And then
Mm-hmm.
some guys you might look at and say, hey, if you want to come, maybe we'll throw you in a running back a little bit too, like a Lamar, like a Jalen. They can't get tackled. You only get your flag pulled. They're fast. So
I mean, I can see Christian McCaffrey in there too.
oh yeah, if he's still around,
Yeah.
Debo might be a good option.
Yeah, I was thinking about Debo. I can see CB Lamb in there too.
Oh yeah, CD put him out there just let him
Maybe
run away. Nobody gonna hit him.
what he's doing at the time.
Unless he's in another contract battle with somebody by then.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of good players. You can go Jay Jetta all day, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of great talent. If he's gonna be here in 4 years.
Yeah, true. Well, whoever's like a younger tight end at that time. Goddard. If Goddard's still around. Throw Goddard in there.
Goddard should still be as long as he stops getting hurt every year. He might be around.
All right.
Yeah.
Him and Saquon need to have some conversations. Like, bro, what do you do to try to stay off the field? On the field, what do you do? Let's put the best of what you do with the best of what I do, maybe to help us both. You know what I'm saying?
Get Maddox in them conversations too, so he can figure.
Oh, he definitely needs to be in there. That boy stay.
Get him in those conversations. Try to figure out what's going on with him.
Every game.
Man,
go out,
every
come
time
back in, and go back in hurt.
I feel like it's an accomplishment, and we shouldn't feel that way about a starter on defense. But for real, every time you finish a game, I feel like that's an accomplishment. Like I want to go high five him because he finished the game. You know what I'm saying?
We need to get like a board during the season. Mark how many games we make it. Like, Maddox made another game.
He's the Anthony Davis.
We rolling.
There's so many Anthony Davises. That's the sad part. That man. But at least he ain't the Kawhi Leonard. So as long as we ain't saying he the Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, true.
Because when Kawhi get hurt, he's done for like the year, the Olympics,
He's
everything.
out.
He's done. Like he ain't coming back. You ain't see him no more till not the beginning, but somewhere in the next year.
Yeah, you don't need a status update. You know he gonna be out for a while.
When you see that he's injured, you like, yeah, he's done for the rest of this year and in the early part of next year. Yeah, so we ain't got there yet, but I do agree with the street clothes because he does wear them quite a bit. Benny Boom says, don't worry about Nick trying to sneak his plays in the game plan. I threw his playbook in the bonfire. Good.
Hopefully that's what Moore did.
Somebody should have ripped his head open and threw his brain in there too.
Right, that part.
A bit much. I was gonna say throw him in the bonfire, but that's a little too harsh. This is brain.
Snowman, what's up?
Hashtag Fly Eagles Fly. What up, Snowman in the building with your peoples? So yeah. Anybody else? Anybody come to mind while we was just shooting the breeze real quick that you want to add up in there?
Anybody I can think of off the top.
I'm gonna add Pat Surtain.
Surtain. Oh yeah, or like Sauce.
Yeah.
And Sauce. So what I'm saying? I want some of these young fast dudes up in there just picking off ball and running back. Here's the other interesting thing for me though. A little off subject, but still on subject at the same time. Are we really gonna let NFL players go and play flag football with the rest of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like we talk about like
NBA players play.
But see,
Yeah, but you got some of these other countries, man. They've been playing football.
They've been playing football. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's basically like putting us out there with some middle schoolers, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're not prepared. They can have a little team and go around and play each other, but they're not going to be prepared to play no country where you got what hundreds of thousands of people who have played high school, college football, understand the rules, what it takes to be there and stuff like that, at least on some level. I just don't feel like it's fair, man. Like for me, at least year one, the first time around, I just don't feel like it's fair. Because I'm like, they do that. Like we're literally
like some small French dude going up against like DK Metcalf or something.
I think they should do it like they do the baseball. Like they don't even use the pros. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can use UFL players or Arena League players, national, you know, IFL players and stuff. I don't think we should use like NFL players personally. That's just me.
At least not like a whole team of them.
No.
But you know, but the thing is, if they start going, and
they let one or two in, they're gonna.
They ain't gonna let one or two in because you know they just like they're gonna be like roaches. You know what I'm saying? You let one or two in, here come 20 more. I want to play. Well, I can't play. I mean, just me. I feel like if they do anything less than a gold medal would be embarrassing, and all those players should be shunned and never show their face again. They should have to play with bags on if they lose. If they do that, just put it out.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a good idea. Like what you're saying is use like XFL or like UFL, whatever arena football players, but with like the NFL kind of sponsoring it and having Jalen Hurts being like the spokesman or the, you know,
we can do the spokesman stuff.
Like they're going to be using NFL players in some capacity, I would assume.
Yeah, because if they play,
oh yeah, easy gold should be easy gold.
I mean, I feel like they got a good chance with the other league players. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like Canada would be our only competition because they got the CFL.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But half of those guys are from America.
Yep.
But I mean, I feel like they could field a team in flag football. They could probably give us a run. But just just my interpretation of the situation.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we're gonna head into the last commercial break. This is where you're gonna hear about the football different zones, and then we're gonna pop back and finish things up. And as you see, I frowned a little bit when I said that. You'll see why.
Oh, yes. The tradition, the pageantry, the spectacle, the history, the slut. Wait. I gotta rep my brother's stuff right. All my DMV soldiers, stand up! And welcome to the Commander's Gridiron Report. You want your commanders to be repped right? Well, D. Willie is your man. Commander's Gridiron Report. Every Tuesday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern, 10:05 a.m. Central. On the Sotoba Media YouTube channel. Music by J. Cool.
Where my soldiers? Right side. Commanders. Where my soldiers? Left side.
Rams fans all around the world.
It's a beautiful thing to be a Rams fan right now. Stafford's back. We will see about Cup. And running back Kerryon Williams to return.
Lend me your ears, or should I say lend Playmaker your ears, as he breaks down week by week everything in the Los Angeles Rams canon.
Number 99, Aaron Donald. Can't wait for 2029 to come to know that you are going in the Hall of Fame, and it should be first ballot, no questions asked.
Join the Playmaker as he breaks down everything Los Angeles Rams style in Ramily Talk on the Playmakers Blog Network YouTube channel and where you can find podcasts. Join Ryan McCarthy
I became a Jets fan because Kermit the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
and Dustin Henry
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
as they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on YouTube and where you can find podcasts.
All right, y'all. Back in the building. Benny has a message for Canada. Benny says, Canada sucks. I love the patriotism, sir. I know that there is English League football, but it's like really minor league type thing. You know what I'm saying? As far as I understand. Like, not that no one knows how to play at all, but like just the talent and understanding and the years of playing, you just don't feel like they have it there. You know what I'm saying? So it's just my thing. But so there was a playoff game that was played. NFC Wildcard round in Tampa Bay. I think that what happened was somebody forgot to tell the guys that this was actually a game, and maybe they thought this was a joint practice, or I'm not sure. But Tampa Bay routed us 32-9. And the thing is, 10 points in the first quarter, 6 points in the second quarter, 9 points in the third quarter, 7 points in the fourth quarter. They literally beat us in the first quarter. They scored as many points in the first quarter as we scored the rest of the game. Well, yeah, more, because they scored 10 and we only scored 9 for the whole game. You know, I'll leave the stats for Diva. I'll just say not impressive performance. If you want to make an argument why we shouldn't have kept DeAndre Swift, this was the game to make that argument. You may want to make an argument why we paid Devontae Smith. This was a game to make that argument. We didn't have A.J. Brown, but Smitty stepped up. The fact of the matter was, no one else did as a pass catcher. Not a good mix of run and pass. Very pass heavy. We ran the ball 15 times. Just disappointing all around. Just a lack of desire, a lack of wanting to be there, giving up. Felt like all these things had happened before this game started. You blame the players to an extent of they have to go out there and play, but preparation is a big part of it. And as we talked about with the last game, they were not prepared for this. They were not prepared for last week. They weren't prepared for a game since before the 49ers. No one coached them to make them better. No one got on them. Nobody said, you sucked last week. This is what you need to do better. I don't feel like that happened. You know, I feel like they got the same old crap in the locker room that they've been getting for weeks. The same old BS rah-rah that you know was not going to work because it didn't work earlier. But you had people there that thought what they did was going to be successful because they're crazy. And I'm going to say to the level of those who watch my Monarchs Wrestling podcast, they were in the tornado with Tony Khan. Nick Sirianni was. He acted like he was in that tornado of powder with Tony Khan. As a season, man, we talked about this from the beginning. Just disappointing. You hate to see it. You hate to be a part of it. But at the same time, you learn from it. And I think what the positive I take from last season is the guys who are here want to be here, and the guys who were here last year understand what was wrong and understand how to fix it. You got coaches to help with that, but I think players. I think a lot of leaders emerged, or a lot of guys that can help with leadership from the adversity. Because last year was adversity from the other teams, from the media, from some of your teammates, and from the coaches. Mm-hmm. So you was getting it every way. So I understand some guys left and may not want to be part of that no more. And I get it. And I can understand it. And I don't have any negative things to say about anybody. But I do want to say I wish we would have kept Olamide Zaccheaus. That's the guy that I
Yeah.
think we're gonna miss more than anybody else. Because now we're running around talking about we might add another receiver. We wouldn't have to add one if you would have pulled Zacchaeus in that office and say, "Hey, bro, just come hang out with us. We're gonna talk about a contract with your agent. I'm gonna worry about it." If you would have made that dude feel wanted, what he signed for, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but it wasn't something that we couldn't have paid him.
Right.
Yeah.
Every year
He showed
were
a lot
going-
more effort than anybody else, really.
Yeah. And there's always one or two guys every year that you're like, man, I wish we would have kept them. And then you realize later on, yeah, we really should have kept them. But they already gone somewhere else. So, I mean, I know I went a little bit into digression, but it wasn't too much to say about the actual game. So, Diva, I want to leave the stats for you because I know you are our statistician.
I'm not looking at the stats, bro.
No.
Look at the stats. Do it if you want, but I'm not putting myself to that torture. All right. Right.
Well, Hurts
That
did.
was just-
5 for 35, 250 and a touchdown.
Hurts shouldn't even been out there.
And then Smitty had 8 for 148.
Smitty shouldn't have been out there either. It should have been all backup people. I mean, I'm just saying, like,
Nicholas
Nobody
Morrow with the
played-
team in tackles. He's a backup, pretty much.
who?
Nicholas Morrow.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I think everybody was just tired and was just ready to get that over with. You know, it was just the same old everything, same old plays, and everybody was just tired. And they were just like, let's just get this over with. We're just gonna go out here and be on this field. We're not gonna be out here mentally. We're not gonna show no aggression, no nothing. Like we just here once again, like the Giants gang. We just here, y'all. So we don't get fined. That's why they were there. Technically, they were not there to play.
They were Marshawn Lynch in it. That's how I feel too.
Yeah, they were Marshawn
Yeah.
Lynch real bad. Yeah. They were tired of Nick. They were tired of that whole playbook. Tired of not being prepared. Him not having any type of play, and he just sat there looking dumb on the sideline. But yeah, I was tired. They was tired. Every Philadelphia Eagle was tired. We was just ready to get that over with. Some people probably didn't even watch that game because they already knew what was going on. But yeah, that was the last of that. And I hope we never see that again.
Man, when
Ever.
you got Devontae Smith yelling at people, the most mild-mannered dude probably in the league, if not one of the most. When he yelling at people, we already know what it is. Of
Was
course,
that the game where Goddard was yelling at during Jalen Hurts?
I think so. You would think it was this one, yeah. Where he was really animated on the sideline.
And I
Jalen was
think
just
that
chilling.
Your
You know how
shirt,
he is.
your shirt said it all because that was it. Right.
The last of Jason Kelsey.
Yeah.
Sad to go out on that, like, on sour note like that. Not even just like that game, but the whole, back half of the season. But I totally agree with you. It seemed like everybody was just over it. Everybody kind of knew what the outcome was going to be. That's why AJ didn't even bother coming to the game. That dude went to a UFC fight. He didn't want to watch it. He knew what was going to happen. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. But I mean, you could definitely tell there was like zero preparation for this whatsoever. You can tell which team actually went back and watched the footage and watched the tape of the game we had earlier in the season. We played the Buccaneers earlier in the season. Why weren't we going back and rewatching that tape, see what they were doing? Because obviously the Bucs did, because the Bucs brought the blitz as much as possible and shook. And Jalen Hurts, statistically didn't have a terrible game, but the offense was terrible throughout the whole game in general. And obviously they had no answers for the blitz whatsoever. You would think with your top receiver out, obviously you have to use Devontae Smith, but they didn't really have a backup for that. I mean, you would think you would go to your next best weapon, which would be Dallas Goedert. Dude only had like 22 yards, I believe, 21 yards and four receptions. You think you would have had a somewhat better game plan, but exactly what Devo was saying, it just seemed like everybody was out there just because they had to be. They were just trying to get this season over with at that point. It was like, you're in the playoffs. It's the wild card. I understand you had a terrible back half of the season, but you wouldn't at least try to put some sort of effort out there to try to maybe do something. But just like you said, it seemed like everybody was kind of checked out at that point. They were over each other and over the locker room. They just wanted the offseason.
Baker Mayfield's out there looking like Aaron Rodgers. I was like, who this on the field?
Right. Like, what did he have? He had like 330 yards, 337, 22 of 36 for 3 touchdowns. It's insane.
They manhandled us, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They housed us,
Defense
bro. They
was
look
Swiss
like
cheese.
we
You
look
some
like
straight bees.
the Giants, and they look like us. That's what they really like. We
Yeah.
no joke. Now, I do have a piece of NFL news. I'll go ahead and throw in here since we got a couple of extra minutes here. Matthew Judon today traded from the New England Patriots to the Atlanta Falcons for the same thing that we traded Hassan Reddick to the Jets for.
Mhm.
3rd round pick. You know, there's another major similarity between those two people, guys. Should I know what that is?
What?
They're both people who the teams didn't want to pay.
Yeah. They want a new contract.
And we was
And I know
both
there was a
like,
ton of people that were screaming for us to go out and get him. It was like, why?
If you wanna
Like,
play
it would have been the
Reddick,
same situation as Reddick.
right.
whatever.
Why go put yourself back in the same situation? I agree.
Exactly.
Definitely agree.
Because look at where the Jets are with Reddick now.
Man, I looked at that and
Howie
I'm
was
like,
right.
boy, yeah. I mean, I don't say it a lot, but like Magneto, Howie was right.
I mean, he effed around and found out. Like, I mean, Son Reddick, you old, my dude. Like, you played good, but the amount of money that you want, you should have got that from the Panthers if you want to get some money, like before they even traded you. Because you try to get that now, it's not gonna happen, my dude. Like, it's not. So you should have just took that pay cut and be like, all right, I'm with the Eagles, I'm with a familiar team. But nah, you thought you was about to go get paid, and you got played, not paid. So you effed around and found out what you did do.
He got paid. He got played, not paid.
Yep, sure did. Now he's sitting there looking stupid.
Wrong. Not wrong at all. Not wrong at all.
It is what it is, though.
It is. Any last thoughts?
Well, we do got another preseason game coming up. We got to play the Patriots.
Yeah, tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heard the defensive line was looking pretty good in the joint practices. They had like 6 sacks against May. They're looking pretty good. Trotter had an
Boy ain't up
interception.
in here running his mouth.
Haven't seen him in a minute, I feel.
I see Rod. He look. Rod, be quiet.
I haven't seen Rod in a minute.
Yeah, Rod hasn't had a lot to celebrate. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, we seen Juju Schmister got released too.
Yeah, he's out there.
Boy.
Oh, Juju.
Juju ain't gonna be Jujuing no more.
I'm not gonna say what I want to say about him. I'm gonna just say do better. There's a lot I want to say about him, but I'm not even gonna do it.
I mean, honestly, dude was really probably not that good. He was just with a good Steelers team and had a team around him. So that made him look better. You know, a lot of these players look better because of the team around them, not that they actually are a good player themselves. And that has been proven for him in this case. Yeah.
You make some great points.
So.
Oh. On the other note, I'm excited for the preseason game to see some of these young guys play again. I'm excited to see Will Shipley too. He looked really good in preseason. Hopefully he can kind of move his name up that roster, get above Kenny Gainwell.
Who got Boston Scott number? Because they garbage. They didn't get Boston Scott back his number. No, I mean who's playing his number? Whoever that was, they had his number.
Oh, who had his number?
Listen, y'all need to get Boston Scott back his number.
I was sending it to him away. Yeah. Yeah.
Bruh.
Can we trade them for Boston Scott?
Yes.
They
I know,
want to
man. Me already signed. Like, dang, I just got
Take
rid of
James
him.
Bradbury too.
Yeah, you can take him too. I don't know how I feel about that.
Ballberry.
Ain't nobody gonna argue about that one.
Excited
Good
though, man.
people.
Only a couple weeks.
Yeah, we're getting close, y'all. We'll
Yeah.
be back. We'll talk about the second preseason game next week. Y'all know it's gonna be crazy. Last comment of the night. Old man Mob says he's back. His phone died. He'll miss Judon, but getting a top 100 pick is great. You ain't lied.
Yeah.
That's how we
Oh,
start
one
with
last
all
thing
the
before we
future.
go. Eagles made the top 4 best teams in the NFL starting the season. They believe number 4.
Yeah, they put us below the Lions, which I can understand based off of last year, but come on now.
Right. That coach don't even know how to make plays. He don't even know what's going on. Anyway.
We all know who the best is.
Oh man, Mob has something.
My mom says, "Cool people say the Fear Boy is not to kill May." I will
Hey.
ask them not to kill him, sir. I will ask them not to kill him.
Listen, I like May because I like them Luke May boys because you know they Tar Heeled out and that's my home team. But May gonna get Drake May gonna get killed. I mean, he was good with Tar Heels, so that's my football team in college. But Drake May about to get killed. I'm sorry, unless you got Kenny Pickett out there. But I mean, with that defense out there, he about to get slaughtered.
Yeah, you need to contact Vic Fangio because I think he wants people to go out there and bust some heads.
Welcome to the NFL, Drake May.
They're gonna pull him after like a series or two, and then it's gonna be Jacoby getting tore up that whole game.
Yeah, y'all don't even put May in. If y'all know what's best, I don't even put that boy in this game. Sit him out this preseason game.
I agree with Diva.
Should.
For real. Y'all don't want him to have a torn ACL or meniscus starting out already.
Yeah, especially like the injury with JJ in Minnesota. I feel like a lot of people are going to be a little bit more cautious with their young quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with it. All right, good people.
All right, now.
It's another show. We here.
Appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. Everybody that tuned in, it's good to have us all three here tonight. I know every week it don't work out, but when we can, man. It's just such a beautiful production. All right, so make sure you tell 4 your friends or people who may not like you so well. Because even some of those friends might really fall into people that don't like you. You just don't know it yet. But either way, just because they don't like you doesn't mean they will not like you. Doesn't mean. And also, always remember, it's never where you start. It's always where you finish. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Elite.
You already know. Next week, come back. Bring a friend. Tell a friend. Tell a friend.
Make sure you hit that like button on your way out.